because I feel nobody is normal in this world. But yeah, I think I'll describe as a normal person. Like, I like to draw, I like to study, I like to watch movies and do all the stuff which every teenager wants to do. Okay, disability, I think, because I'm a disabled person myself, I think in India, like, disability, like, the word, it has a negative connotation to it. Like, if you're disabled, you do not, like, you should not be expecting anything. Like, I think as a disabled person, because I think India is lacking a lot. And one of the things which I feel as a disabled person is the lack of infrastructure for disabled people. Like, that is the basic thing which disabled person deserves. And not only infrastructure, like, for, like, because there are different kind of disabled people, not only locomotor disabled, there are blind people also, there are deaf people also, there are other types of disability also. So I think the basic aids to for them to lead a normal life is missing from India. And of course the stigma that तुम तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते wala thing in our society, I think that is still in the country, and it will take a lot more time to, get better. Being treated as a burden, which, like, many of the times they are not. Like, most of the time, not many of the times, most of the times they're not. They know how to, like, live their life, they know how to do basic stuff. Care for me, like, I feel that when I am asking somebody to do something for me, they should do that at that time only. Like, sometimes what I feel is people, like, out of sympathy or something, they do things for me that, of course, people appreciate that, but that also makes us feel like we are less, like, inferior to them. Most of the times, like, I am like 19-year-old and I'm in a college, of course, so I am leading a normal life like everybody. But yeah, so I feel that I know how to do stuff.
Right.
So if I want to ask somebody to do something for me, then they should do it for me. Otherwise, it makes me feel bad, of course, that I am lacking in that skill. And yeah, of course, it's like a burden on my mental health also. And of course, it leads to different kind, like, negative thoughts, of course, about myself. Like, I feel like, because I told I am in a college and I'm in second year, so I use an electric wheelchair. Okay, so I think that's a good thing which is available in India, of course, because I'm not dependent on anybody to, like, make me move on, even on a wheelchair. It's like an automatic feature, so I can move it on my own. So it kind of, like, make me feel independent at one stage. But I feel that the aids which are available are very expensive, like, really expensive, because, like, I can afford doesn't mean that everybody can afford, and even people cannot afford basic wheelchairs. So yeah, like, how can they afford automatic one? So I think there are available things, but they're very, very expensive. And if I see about, like, infrastructure aids, I think, because, like, I live in a society, and the town in which I live, like, the ramp is so steep, like, I can fall from it. So I, like, every time I need to go through it, I need somebody to, like, stand maybe at the back or maybe in the front, because it's very steep. And this is, like, the case for most of the buildings in India, which, like, even including the malls, public places, because the government has, like, made this provision of having ramps as compulsory. Just for the sake of it, they make it, but that is, like, impossible to use them. So yeah, I feel there are aids, but they're just for the sake of it. Like, they are not really useful. Yeah, because, like, I have been in a normal school where people were like normal. I mean, normal in the sense they don't have any disability. Individual, my friends are normal individuals, but yeah, I feel that in schools and colleges, they like you at one point of time you feel that you are different from people. Even though my friends and family and everybody around me is very supporting, but yeah, because I think that's because the stigma, people do not know how to uh, be with be with the disabled people and how to treat them. So yeah, I think they do not intentionally make you feel like you're different, but yeah, because they're not experienced with it. And I think experience can come only when, because even like in schools, I feel that they do not like admit disabled people because obviously they have this fear that how will we tackle them, how because they will be needing some different kind of assistance. So I think that's like put on a different kind of onus on the school and the management. So that's why they're scared. But I think if feel at the school, I mean they will allow more disabled people, the normal individuals, they will be knowing that how to manage with them and everything. Because you go to school 14 years of your life. So I think that from there you should know. Yeah, I think my family, friends, everybody overprotect me at times, like till now. I think that's like concern also and care also on their part, but I feel that like I, like as a disabled person, I want to be more independent because like I said, at times I do not need something, and I can take care of that something on my own, and I do not need that assistance from somebody. But yeah, because out of their concern, out of their care, they do it for me. But yeah, that also adds to my like feeling different from others. I think first of all, the burden thing, which I feel that like if a disabled child is born in the family, he or she is considered a burden straight away. And I think because like that's because we do not have so much of representation in the mainstream. Like my motive to go to a like DU or some good college was to like represent the disabled people in the society, because I think most of the people like disabled people's education is omitted in between only. Like even if they like hardly, I think they will be able to complete the school because obviously they need different kind of now assistance and like wheelchair costing and traveling costing. So and most of the families in India are not able to be as that. And secondly, the school thing, that schools are also not ready to take them because of the burden they will be having. So yeah, I think first of all we need to have more representation in the society, and I think that will only be happening if the parents will be sending them school to college, and of course I think they'll be like become something in something big in the future, and they'll be earning good money. And next I think first and next, like we should not be treating like differently. Like first this thing should be checked off that they're different, because I think everybody is different in that sense. Like if I'll be liking apples, you might be liking mangoes, and the third person be liking oranges. So in that case also we are all different.
Yeah.
So I think if you're taking one quality and labeling them as different is like vague. And I think like everybody has some weaknesses in their lives, so you cannot compete two people's weaknesses, and you'll be like labeling one disabled and other normal. Like what is this criteria? So I think we should be not using these criteria for normal and disabled people. And next, I think we should not be like giving vague advices also to these people, because like I'll tell you a personal experience. Like I have been wheelchair almost all through my life. I used to walk, but yeah, like I stopped walking for some reasons, and then I have been a wheelchair throughout my life, and I have like I have been to every public place, and I have like all the normal life. Okay, I still go to movies, I still go to restaurants, and of course, I'm going to college. So, yeah, what I used to uh, encounter was, and still I encounter sometimes, but now I am like hard. I know how to deal with people myself. Like, I'll tell you one example. Like, when I was like, I think I was 10 or something. Uh, I I was going to some mall or some. I was going like a shopping complex, and there was somebody. So they asked my parents that what happened to her. Okay, so my parents, like, obviously they answered politely, and then they started asking like questions, and that was very ruthless, because obviously you don't know me and you don't know my parents, and then you start asking ruthless questions, and then you ask us to like they expect us to like answer very politely. I think that's very wrong, and now I realize that like you don't know me, how can you ask all the life history of me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people should be a bit kind, not to us only, but everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you do not have this right to ask random people about their disability if they don't want to tell you or something. Like, I had this one friend over Insta only, and he asked me very, very politely that like he asked it very like in the sense that he was like, please educate me about your condition. Because he was like literally interested. And he was like you can tell if you are only comfortable. So I was like, yes, I'm comfortable, but at least like this is the way to ask somebody if you want to know about them or something, or to gain knowledge, or maybe you have somebody who is similar to my condition or something. So yeah, I think there's a way to ask certain things, and like you can ask simple questions more politely.